Now we will see router transformation. So router transformation. What do you mean by routing? Okay. So routing to different paths, right? We are creating different paths based on the condition. Okay. We will see what is a router transformation. So router is an active and connected transformation. So similar to filter, a router is also an active and connected transformation. There are similarities between filter and router transformations. Okay. Filter is a single group transformation. Router is a multi-group transformation. Okay. So this is also filters out the data. Let's say if you have kept only one condition, one group, then it will automatically create another group. Okay, another group that is called default group. I have created, if you see in this example, in this image, we have one input group from where the data is coming. Okay. Now I have department number equal to 20. That means we are filtering out the data based on some department number 20. Let's say, what about department 30, 40 if we have? So that will go to the default group. I mean, we are not discarding, we are not blocking those things. That will just reside in the default group. If we want, we can use them in the next transformations. Otherwise, we can ignore them. Okay. So let's see how it works. Okay. Okay, so it is used to test multiple conditions in a single router transformations. Okay, transformation. Like you see here, this is the simple structure you can see here. So we have source, router, and we can have multiple, further, we can have multiple downstream transformations. So basically it is used to separate into different groups. Okay, whatever incoming data, we can group them, okay, into multiple groups. Okay. So route the rows to the default output group or drop rows that do not meet the condition. So we, along with the conditional group, we can have one default group also. Okay. So for every filter condition, an output group is created in the router transformation. You can connect different targets to these different groups. Okay. So either we can connect to the different targets, or after applying some changes in each group, we can combine them and we can load into the same target. Okay. So we can have different purposes with this router transformation. Okay. So transformation wise, we have these things like transformation, ports, properties, and groups. These are the main tabs we will concentrate. So transformation, it is used as usual, renaming the transformation, writing the description and all. Ports, we will have these ports like group ports, and properties and groups. So groups is basically, we will define, we can create n number of groups, and once we start creating the first group, default will come. Default group will come. Okay. We'll see how it works. So groups wise, if you take, we have one input group, multiple output groups. So you have to remember this. We have only one input group and multiple output groups. So it can receive the data from single source. Okay. I mean, only one input, and output group, it can provide the data for further. So they are user defined groups and one default group along with that. So it is basically used to test multiple conditions in a single router transformation. So if we make use of filters, instead of using two filters, we can use one router. Or instead of using 10 filters, we can use one router. So basically, router is an extension of filter transformation. Okay. So you can connect one group to one transformation or target. So what all we can do using router transformation means these are the things. Okay. We can route rows to the default output group or drop rows that do not meet the condition. Okay. And it also allows more than one test conditions. So similarly, so we tested, right, in the filter. So in the filter we tested like with multiple conditions. Similarly, here also we can test it with multiple conditions. So it allows more than one test conditions. Next one is provide the ability to test the same input data on a multiple number of conditions. Okay. We can do that also. So we can have multiple number of conditions we can apply. So in case of mapping, input data is processed only once by the server and hence performance is improved. So if you observe here, let's say if I have two filter transformations, so data should be passed on to these two transformations separately, one by one, right? Whereas in the router transformation, we can have only one-time input. So based on the input data, it will decide the groups based on the conditions. And it is very less complex and more efficient transformation. So these are some of the advantages of router transformation. Okay. We will see how this works in practical. So we will go with an example. Okay, let's say we have one employee table, and so we can have multiple targets. So for dividing the data. So we can go by this example, or with a simple example I will show. Okay, I will show how this works. So this is also a very simple transformation, and it is just an extension of filter transformation. I will show you how this works. Okay, we can make use of the same. Okay, whatever we have used till now, S departments and T departments. So we will do one more thing. Okay, we will just create two tables. We will see how this works. T departments underscore default, or we can say T departments underscore 2. We will see how this works. This one underscore 2 means a second table I am creating for this one, just to show you how this works. Okay, I'm creating second table, departments 2. Okay, let me import that second table here. Okay, let me create a mapping for router. Okay, M underscore router. Same source is like S departments we can take, and targets we can take 2 departments and departments 2. Okay, I am selecting. So if you want to select, simply select one, press on control and click on the second one. Okay, if I want 3, 4 also, I can select. By pressing control on your keyboard, you can select multiple things at a time. And you can simply drag and drop. Okay, that way all your targets will come into your mapping designer. Okay, so I have one source, I have 2 targets, and we can have one simple mapping with the router. So router, where is the router? This is the router, right? This is the router transformation. So I'm just going by this method now. Router transformation. I am renaming it RTR router underscore department. Okay. Ports. So, okay, we haven't have any ports now. Let's drag and drop all the ports to this. So here groups. Yeah, we will create some groups. We will see what is the data in the source. Okay, let's see complete data. Let me close this here, close it and run. So we have different sets of data. Okay, let's see. We want to create 2 groups. One group wherever the value is 1700. Okay, wherever the value is 1700, that is one group. Remaining everything is another group. Okay, we will see 2 groups. Or okay. See here, observe one thing here. Okay, observe one thing. Now I have only one input group, right? I don't have any output groups here. Okay, what I'm doing, so I have ports, properties, nothing. So tracing level, as I mentioned, there are 4 types of tracing levels: terse, normal, verbose initialization, and verbose. This we will discuss later. We'll see the groups. See here, we don't have any default group as of now. So when I start creating one group here, immediately one default group will come. So I can create n number of groups. I can rename also. Okay, I can rename. So I can cut it. If I don't want, I can delete the groups also. So once I delete all the groups, even the default group also gone. Okay. So if anyone asks you question, so you haven't created any groups, what is the group available in the router? If they ask this kind of tricky way, then you can say no groups will be available until we create the first group. Even default group also won't appear. Okay, so once we create one group, here what we can say, okay, let it be. We are passing everything to the we are passing everything, just like, okay, we will see both the conditions here. We are passing everything. Okay, everything is true in the first group. So just you select everything, because we have created the target with the similar order and similar ports. So you can just click on the first port, shift, click on the last port, and simply drag and drop. So first table, everything we are sending, and default one, we are sending everything to the second group. Let's see how it works. Okay. And okay, let me generate another workflow here. Okay, back. I want, okay, here you observe there are 2 targets here now, right? One source, 2 targets. So let's select the target connection. So target connection. Next. You can change the settings in the next. Yes. Next. Finish. Okay. Let's go and check in the. Okay. So to refresh, disconnect and connect or open. You can connect or open. I'm doing open so that I can see the pen directly here. the router. Okay, I am opening this router one. So here in the router, okay, source is fine. Target, I am keeping both normal. Okay. And I am also applying the truncate target table option so that every time it loads, before loading it, it will truncate and load. Okay, so we don't see any confusion there. So for this target also, I'm keeping normal. Okay, so router conditions, so we don't see anything here. So apply and okay. Okay, so I'm executing this one. Let's see how it goes. So this is my second workflow I am running. Filter is done. Now we are working on router. So all 10 gone. It read 10 records from source, all 10 going to the target. Okay, let's see. So these are the 10 records in the source. In the target, okay, in the target, let's see in both the tables. Okay, let me select from both the tables. _2. So first table, how many records are there? So first table, all 10 records are there. Second table, we routed from default group. So nothing. So if you observe here, first group, what is the group condition? Everything. So bulk entry, no conditional check. Everything we are passing to group. So, so then nothing will be remaining, right? So it's like 10 minus 10 here. Okay. Now, if I keep false, we will see what all records come into the new, the group, and what all records come into the default group. We will see that. Okay. So I'm refreshing this, validate, save it, and I am running the workflow. Okay. Second run also succeeded. And again, this time also 10 records read from source and 10 records gone to the target. But this time, let's see how it goes. So department is empty. Other group is full. So hope you got this. Okay. Since the group we have defined, user defined group is completely false. We are not allowing anything. So second option is all the 10 records goes to the default group. Okay, default group. Hope you understand this. That means whatever the left out things that will go to the default group. Now we will apply the same condition just like how we applied wherever location ID equal to 1700. Okay, we will see wherever location ID is 1700, this will come into this group. So whatever comes into the default group, we will see. So we just change this one. We have refreshing the mapping, validate, and start workflow. Okay. Okay. Let's see first in the monitor. Okay, monitor. So all 10 records read from source, all together and gone to the target. But in the target, how it is shared. You can also see the targets here. Okay. So you can also see the targets here. Here, if you see, yeah, even for previous runs also you can see source 10 records. The first is for the first scenario, wherever the group is true, all records gone to the first table. Second table to which we connected the default group is 0. Second scenario, nothing gone to the departments because we kept it false. Everything gone to the departments. Okay, I mean second table, other the default one. Okay. So here you have to, right? Okay. So in the third scenario, if you see now, means third scenario means now we have kept the location ID is 1700, right? So how many records are with 1700 here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 records are with 1700. So these 4 records are satisfying the condition in the group, first group. So that has gone to the first table. And remaining all records will go to the default group, that is table 2. Okay, so that's why you see this number here. 4 records to the first table, remaining 6 records will go to the second table. Okay, that you have seen here. Let's see the data wise. So 4 records gone to the first table and remaining 6 records gone to the second table. Okay, right. Now, now we can apply some other scenarios also. So it is very simple again. Whichever condition is satisfied, only those records will move on. Remaining will go to the default table, default group. Okay. And it doesn't mean that all the groups are mutually exclusive. No, it's not that way. So let's say I have created a second group. Second group is like department ID is less than. So we will see how it is. So source data is how it is. Okay. So 10 to 100 it is. Okay. If it is less than 60. Okay. 60 we will give. So department ID is less than 60 is one group. Now tell me. So group 1, I can rename this group. Okay. I can create something like location ID underscore 1700, just for my understanding. Okay. 1700, I get. Now it is like I can create something like department ID LT means less than 60. Okay. And default is default. We cannot change the default group name. Okay. So, so for this purpose, we will create the third table to see the difference. Okay. Let me create another table. So to see the difference. Underscore 3. And I created this table. Now I will map the third table also here. Okay. Let me bring the target here. Departments 3. Okay, departments 3. Departments 3, and I am saying okay. Okay, so my departments 3 also came here. Let me pull it here. Okay, so the second condition, department ID once, this will go here, right? Since I created newly, I have to refresh this. So refresh mapping. Okay, validate. So it is also valid. But only thing is, since department 3 entered, I have to change this connection to target, right? So target I have selected here. I'll change it to normal. And I will also select this truncate option on the third table. So now we have 3 tables and 3 groups. Okay, 2 are user-defined groups, 2 are user-defined groups, and third one is default group. Okay, so just you remember the order. Okay, so this departments is having the first user-defined group. Table 3 is having second department, and default is going to the table 2. Okay, we will see how it works. So what are the conditions we have given? 1700, less than 60, and remaining everything to here. Okay. Now, okay, let's execute this one. Start workflow. So this also succeeded. Now, if you see out of 10, first one is taking 4 records because of its 1700. I mean, second group that is going to the third table, right? So it is 5 records, and table 2 is default, that is 3 records. Okay, you have to understand this, why it is like this. We will see. So if you see in all the 3 tables, just for clarity, I'll keep here. I'm just commenting. This is group 1. Okay. Now this is group 2. This is just I'm giving the comment, so for our easy understanding. Okay. This is default group. Default group data. So in the group 1, we have these 3 records because only these 4 records satisfying 1700 condition. So 1700 location ID is group 1, right? So that is here. Second group is having 5 records because it is all these 5 records are satisfying department ID less than 60. Okay. So if you observe, even we got location ID is 1700. That means these the groups may not be mutually exclusive. Mutually exclusive means one record present in one group can also present in another group, because we are defining the conditions like that. Okay. And default means everything. If something is not gone into both these groups, then it will come here. Okay, let's see on Excel sheet how it works. Okay, let me open up on Excel. Let me open up on Excel sheet and show you. Okay, I'm just marking these things. Okay, let's define the groups. Okay, group 1. Group 1 condition is 1700, right? Group 2 condition is it's less than 60. So whatever is not satisfied, that will go to default group. Default. Okay, default group. Okay, we will mark some color here. Okay, and this is some other color for easy understanding. Yeah, I will blue color. Okay, so we'll keep in this color. So we have 3 groups, which is having 1700 is 1, less than 60 is 1, and remaining. So remaining will come here, right? So remaining will come here. So this is the group 1, user defined group, and this is the group 2. Or if you want, you can just give the group names. Okay, not an issue. So here, let's keep this way. So easy understanding. Now tell me, which all satisfying group 1, 1700, this department ID. Okay. So what are the things here? This is the department ID. Department ID is this. And this is location ID. I'm just giving the short names. Okay. So department ID is, sorry, this is location ID. Location ID is equal to 1700. Okay, this is department ID. Now tell me, location ID equal to 1700. Which all are satisfying this? Yes, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Now, department ID is less than 10. So these are all things are satisfying, right? So I can give Y. Y means satisfying. Okay, these are passing, or I can say true instead of that. True. Okay, these are evaluating to true. Here, this is true. Okay, these are all true. Now tell me, which all are left out? Only the left out things. If I mark this as, okay, since these are satisfying, let me mark this as green. Okay, these are satisfying. And even here also, these are satisfying. Okay, even these are also satisfying. Let me mark. So how many are left out? Only those will go to default group. Default. Okay. Default. So only 3 records will go 60, 70, and 80. Let's see. In the default group, what are all there? So in the default group, 60, 70, and 80. Hope you understood this with this example. Okay. Are you clear? how routing works? So this is the router transformation. Okay. Anybody, any questions on this router transformation?
No, sir.
I mean, is it clear?
Yashashi, I have a small question here.
Yeah, please tell me.
So, as per the router's definition, you said we can, route the entries as per the requirement. In the definition, it is also mentioned as a we can, drop the entries like.
Right, right.
Can you quickly show that if?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's dropping means it's basically we are categorizing this, right? So we are categorizing. So if you don't want
Because
default,
no,
uh-huh.
what I understand as per the definition, if the requirement is matching as per that whatever we are giving, it will route to particular target table. If anything is not matching, it will moved into default group.
Right.
Then how do we see the drop ones? That's where I am confused.
Okay, dropping in the sense okay, that is our decision. I mean, Informatica is not dropping anything here. We can drop it. I mean, if we want to utilize that, we can utilize it. Otherwise, we can simply let's say default group. I don't want to use this default group anymore. Only whatever conditions satisfying as per my requirement, I can use them, and I can simply don't utilize the default one. That's it. There is no concept of completely dropping. Only filter can drop. I mean, from filter we cannot move it forward. Whereas in the router, all the records coming from source, all these are preserved. I mean, if it is not such thing, it is preserved under default group.
Okay, that default group will be there if you don't give the this one's the link to that from
Right.
your router to default. Then those records will be we don't get anywhere.
Correct.
Instead of moving default group, if you don't want those, if you don't link that ports, then those record we won't see anywhere. Am
Correct.
I understanding?
Yes,
Yeah.
you are right. You are right. So these will be available here. If you want, we can utilize them. Otherwise, we can discard them. I mean, there is no option of separately discarding. If we simply don't map it, it won't go. Even here, though we define the second group, if we don't map it, it won't go there. Whichever group we want to utilize, only those will be, I mean, move forward. If you don't map even the second user-defined group here, even that won't go to the next level.
Again, based on our requirement.
Based on our requirement, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, we can define this as reusable. Okay. So I want to utilize this in multiple mappings, and I have defined the groups. Okay. I have defined 10 groups. So in maximum cases, most of the groups are utilized. But in this particular mapping, I want to utilize only location ID. I don't want this group to be utilized. So I can simply make use of the first group. I mean, in case of reusable things. Reusable means nothing but if it is used in multiple mappings. I mean, I'll just show you one example. Like, let's say if I want to make this is reusable. So once you make it reusable, we cannot revert it. Yes, I want to make it reusable. And you can see in the transformation section, router. So if I create one new mapping, okay, let's say m_rtr reuse, okay, something like that. And I can keep the same departments. Okay, I can keep something like something else. Okay, some other targets. Okay, let's say, for example, and this is a different mapping altogether. I can use this same. So the definition will be same. If I do any change in this reusable, so transformations, all these reusable transformation can be changed at this transformation developer. If I do any change, let's say I want to create another group. Okay, another group as test. Apply. Okay. So that will reflect in both the things here. So let me change this. So that is the purpose of reusability, and why I'm telling you the reusability is here. See, it is reflecting in this and also in our previous. So it is also reflecting here. So that is the concept of reusability. So when we touch this transformation, it will be reflected in all the mappings or maplets wherever we used it. Okay. So in this scenario, let's say in the first mapping, I want to utilize these two. Okay, I have this target. Okay, let's say this target, and I am using this group here. Whereas in the other mapping, I want to use only this one. Let's say, for example, this one. Okay, location. Only first group I want to utilize. Remaining all I can discard. You can try this, okay? You can try and let me know if you face any issues. Kader, hope I answered your question.
Yeah, I am good. I'm good.
Okay, perfect. Anything else? Anyone? Any other questions? Okay, I mean, if no further questions, I think we are good to close today. So we will see you tomorrow. And please come up with questions. Okay, please come up with your questions. We will answer those questions. And while practicing, if you get any errors, you can ping those errors in the group so that everybody else also can learn. Okay, if we get these kind of errors, how to resolve it. Or I mean, if there is any time constraint, we will address those issues in the next class or in the lab. Okay. So tomorrow is the lab, so we can address all your issues on this sorter, filter, and router. So all these issues are in the tomorrow's lab. Okay. So that's it for the day. And if no further questions, we can close. Yeah. Bye, everyone. Have a nice day.